Hey Eagles fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into the Eagles Report, and today, injury updates as well as Super Bowl odds for our Eagles. Before we start though, thumbs up this video if the Eagles are going to win on Sunday against Seattle, and drop your score prediction in the comments section down below. I need to know who wins with the score. If you predict it correctly, you'll get a shout out to start the very first video after an Eagles Wildcard Weekend victory. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so all the questions regarding the Eagles seem like every single week is about who is healthy, who is close to playing, who might play, who might not play. Let's go ahead and start with Miles Sanders. It looks like Miles Sanders will be playing on Sunday, despite the fact he was unable to practice earlier this week as early as Wednesday. He's dealing with that ankle injury, and he needs to be out there for the Philadelphia Eagles. But there was some smoke that was thrown out there because the Eagles went out and signed a running back in Elijah Holyfield. He was a starter, or I guess one of the starters for Georgia this past season. He was a Carolina Panther, drafted in like the 6th or 7th round. They cut him, and now he's a Philadelphia Eagle. But head coach Doug Peterson said, just kind of precautionary, get an extra body in there. It will most likely be Sanders, Howard, and Boston Scott as your 1, 2, 3, and Holyfield will be kind of more that, emergency running back if the Eagles were to continue to advance and need some bodies to be in there. But Sanders, dealing with the ankle injury, technically listed right now as day-to-day, but all signs are indicating he should be good to go on Sunday. And it looks like they're just holding him out of practice this week to essentially, keep the load down on him a little bit. I expect him to go basically at 100%, to be a big-time factor in this football game. As Philadelphia knows, Sanders is your biggest playmaker and has been on this team for the past couple of weeks. So, almost in the second half of the season. So you need him out there in a wildcard situation. It also shows why it's so good the Eagles had the final wildcard game late on Sunday instead of like the very first one early on a Saturday. More time to get Miles Sanders 100% healthy. Okay, other injury news here. Updates on Lane Johnson, Nelson Agholor, and also Zach Ertz coming right now. Agholor still dealing with this knee injury, which is strange because he's been dealing with it for a while, and you wonder if it's like an MCL sprain, if it's a tear of some sort. He most likely will not be playing on Sunday, so no more Nelson Agholor. I'd be surprised, unless the Eagles go on a run into the Super Bowl, if Agholor actually plays the remainder of this season. Lane Johnson, his ankle, didn't get to play the past couple of weeks. He took some light practice reps on Wednesday. He's day-to-day right now, and he'll be a game-time decision on Sunday. He'll go out onto the field, he'll test the ankle, and that'll be hours before kickoff. And if he feels good enough to go, and of course the weather and the grass and the footing plays a big factor in this. If it's good to go, then he should play. I would expect Lane Johnson, if I'm going to put my money on it, to be out there on Sunday. He's a dog, he's a battler, he's a fighter. He wants to be out there, and that means Halapoviati Vaitai will be moving over to right guard because Brandon Brooks is done. His season is done for the year with a shoulder injury. So Lane Johnson looks good. Agholor not looking good. And it's also not looking good for Zach Ertz, who seems to be a medical anomaly right now in Philadelphia because no one seems to know what's going on. Even head coach Doug Peterson is playing things very close to his chest. Here's what I'm thinking is happening with Zach Ertz because he's not been cleared to play yet. He's not been cleared for contact either, dealing with the broken ribs or the bruised ribs, cracked ribs, whatever, and the lacerated kidney. I think it's simply gamesmanship. The Eagles are trying to pretend like Ertz is going to play. That way Seattle has to game plan for Zach Ertz, and then last second they're going to say, nope, he's done. I don't think he's going to play. There was an independent NFL doctor who said the other day he expects Zach Ertz not to play, so I would be very surprised if Ertz is out there in any capacity on Sunday. I'd actually honestly be surprised if he plays at all the remainder of the year. Again, they're making it look like he potentially could be able to go on Sunday. I just do not see a scenario where he's healthy enough. I think it's a smokescreen. It means Dallas Goedert and Josh Perkins are going to be your number 1 and your number 2 tight ends for this entire game. Meaning, again, the Eagles are at a disadvantage. Let's be honest. The Eagles are not 100% right now, but here's what they do have. They have momentum, and they have a quarterback who is playing as good as anybody in the league right now. Plus, throwing a third one, home field advantage right now, at least in this game. Seattle, not a good East Coast team. They don't like the cold weather. Russell Wilson has proven that time and time again. Think back to the Vikings game a couple of years ago in the wildcard weekend. They missed a field goal to win it at the end, but it was close. These cold weather games are tough. These long West Coast or East Coast trips are tough for teams. I think that regardless of Zach Ertz playing or not, the Eagles still have a very good shot to win this football game. Speaking of a very good shot to win, the Eagles, any surprise here, have the second worst odds to win the Super Bowl right now at 50-1. Right now, they're tied with somebody else. I'm blanking on who it was right now. But they don't have the worst odds, as the Tennessee Titans have the worst odds at 75-1, mainly because they're taking on New England in the opening round, even though I'd argue I think the Titans have as good of a chance as the Eagles do at winning their first wildcard game. So your Eagles odds, 50-1, and you think about this and you go, wait a second, what were the odds a couple of years ago whenever we won Super Bowl 52? They were very similar to this. Many people did not give the Eagles a fighting chance, a puncher's chance to advance, even though they were the #1 overall seed. You remember going back to even Fox Sports' FS1's Nick Wright was saying, when that postseason, when the Eagles made the run, they were the worst team in the playoffs by far. That fuels them, underdog motivation. Of course, the Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl. Is it similar in this situation? I think yes, and for one, people are saying we are an underdog. The Vegas odd makers are saying we are an underdog, although it's a little bit different because we're not underdogs because we're a bad football team. We're underdogs because everybody is injured. Remember, the only reason people counted out the Eagles in 2017, or really during that Super Bowl run, was because they just lost their quarterback, Carson Wentz. Everybody else around Carson Wentz was basically 100% healthy. The offensive line was good to go, besides Jason Peters. The wide receivers were fully intact. The running backs were intact. The defense was intact. Not the same case for the Eagles right now. So that's why they put them as the second worst odds to win Super Bowl 50. Good Lord, 54, 53? I don't remember what Super Bowl we're on right now. Anyway, I think it's valid. I think it's fine. I think it's fair. But the Eagles can still take that channel and use it going forward and try and pull off a big upset here against the Seahawks on Sunday. They are underdogs in this game. The line is moving right now, even though the Eagles are at home. We're going to have to sit back, wait, and see what happens. How important, I'm curious for you guys on this one, answer this question down below, is winning this game to you, the Eagles fan? Now, I'm not just saying, do you want to win a wild card game? Because the answer is yes. But take the scope of the entire season. How much does this game matter? Do you think the Eagles can legit make a Super Bowl run? Like, if we win this, we go on a run? Or is it more like, hey, we win this, we're running into the buzzsaw that is the 49ers, we're going to play the Packers or the Saints, who are all good football teams. If we win this, we're not going to advance any further? Or are you just like, hey, I'm happy to be here? That's kind of my question for you guys right now. Are you just happy to be in this wild card game, or do you really want to, get out there, win it, and see what heck can happen? I think we all want to win it, but what are your thoughts in terms of realistic expectations for for Sunday? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate if you would like, comment, and subscribe, especially to this channel. We're the fastest growing Eagles channel here on YouTube. Over 1,600 subscribers. Trying to get to 2,000 by next week. If you have not subscribed, click the red subscribe button, click the notification bell. I would greatly appreciate that. So, final wrap up on this video. Looks like Miles Sanders will be playing on Sunday with the ankle injury. That is good news for all Eagles fans. He's probably going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's been fantastic so far this season. Lane Johnson, he's also expected to most likely play. Again, not as good of a chance as Miles Sanders, but still up there. Agholor, not expected to play. And Zach Ertz, again, you might hear that he might play. You might hear he's a game-time decision. I would be shocked if Zach Ertz is actually out there playing for this football team. Again, just simply because of the fact that it's a lacerated kidney. Andrew Luck, remember, his season was ended because of a lacerated kidney. I don't see how you can go across the middle of the field as a tight end, take shots to this area, because that's where people are going to be aiming too. I know normally it's like you're aiming for the chest here. They're going to be aiming for whatever side of, the kidney injury is, trying to make him hurt even more. I'd be shocked if he actually goes out there and plays. So most likely no Zach Ertz. And finally, second worst odds to win the Super Bowl, 50-1, one better than Tennessee. I'm fine with it. To me, you go into this game with, house money. You lose, and they're like, well, you were too injured. You win, and it's like, what another great run by our Eagles. Doug Peterson, they pulled it off before. Can they do it again? Be sure to watch the game on Sunday and check out this channel, as we have plenty of coverage leading up to, and we'll have it for and after the game as well. So one more time, subscribe to the Eagles Report. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,700 subscribers here by the end of the week. Like the video if the Eagles are going to win on Sunday, and drop your score prediction down below for a chance for me to give you a shout out. No one's ever gotten it right, but someone will. A shout out to start our video on Monday or Tuesday, depending on when we drop our reaction video. There we go. All the time we have for today on the Eagles Report. I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Go Eagles. Happy Wild Card weekend. We're thinking happy thoughts here as we approach Sunday afternoon in Lincoln Financial Field